Hi everyone, I am finally able to sit down and bring you guys a rare beauty review. I know YouTube has been flooded with rare beauty reviews, but a lot of the reviews that I've seen are first impressions or people who have really only used the products for a couple of days. I was really able to put my rare beauty products to the test. I basically have worn my rare beauty products every day for the past 2 weeks. There's been some days where maybe I'm wearing a different blush or a different lipstick, but pretty much every day for the past 2 weeks I've really been able to put these products to the test and figure out how to make these products work best for me and my skin type. I do have oily skin, so yeah, just keep that in mind. There's a couple of techniques and additional products that I use in order to make these products really work for me, but I love them. I really do love this line. Overall, I'm very pleased with the line. I think it's very appropriately priced. I think the selection of products on the first launch is amazing. I love how versatile these products are and the shade selection, the shade range. Selena Gomez really gave it to us and I'm super excited to dive into this review. So I've used the Rare Beauty foundation with and without primer. I decided to skip out on purchasing their primer. It is an illuminating primer, and although I do like illuminating primers and illuminating products, I had a feeling that this foundation and an illuminating primer would not pair well with my oily skin, so I decided to skip the Rare Beauty primer. And I've used this foundation with and without primer, but I find it works best for me with a primer, which is rather surprising. I usually do not use primers in my routine, but I am wearing makeup for longer days now, and I find that the Smashbox Oil and Shine Control Primer works the absolute best with the Rare Beauty foundation, and this primer allows me to not go super duper heavy with powder, so I still get the beautiful satin glowy finish of the foundation, but I have that extra oil protection from my primer. So I'm first going to go in with the Smashbox Oil and Shine Control Primer. So the first Rare Beauty product that I am going to be going in with is the Rare Beauty foundation, and I use the shade 270N, which is the partner concealer that I picked up. And you can tell that the foundation is a couple of shades darker than the concealer, so the concealer definitely is meant to brighten, but I think the pairing of these two work really well for my skin tone. So I shake up the foundation really well before I use it. I've seen videos of people using this foundation and it is so messy for some people. I have not ever had an issue with the applicator pulling out too much product or the product spilling on me, but yeah, be mindful that that is happening for some people, but I have not had a problem with it. So I just take the applicator, I dot it along my face. I do not think anything of the fact that I have to use an applicator on my skin. It's literally the same thing as using a concealer. It does not bother me in the slightest, but some people are rather offended by it. Oddly enough, I blend out this foundation with my hands. I don't know what it is about blending out this foundation with my hands, but I just get the most beautiful, flawless finish, and it lasts all day for me. Compared to when I use a sponge or a brush, I notice a huge difference when I blend out this foundation with my hands, so that is how I'm going to be blending out this foundation today. I'm taking one hand because I just have my one mirror, but seriously, it's so beautiful with my fingers. I don't know what it is about this foundation and my fingers and this, mattifying primer. It works so well. This is what works with my skin and these products, and I gotta say I'm so happy with it. I love applying this makeup in the morning. I just feel so good. I know it's going to work. Yeah, it's blending out so nice, and I just really love it. So yeah, I'm just kind of surprised by the lack of people I see blending out this foundation with their fingers, but I really love it. with my fingers, and it's so smooth and flawless, and that's it. Looks so good in my opinion. And then because I cannot stand the feeling of makeup on my hands, I like wipe my hands on my sponge, and then I just go over my makeup with my sponge, making sure I didn't miss any spots, because that's one of my big fears about, you know, blending my foundation out with my fingers, is that I'm going to miss something. So I just blend it out with my sponge, just go over everything. And yeah, I just love the finish of it. I think it's gorgeous, and for some reason the longevity is so different with my hands. Next, I'm going to go in with the Rare Beauty concealer. This concealer is $19, and like I said earlier, I did get the shade 270, so I got the matching concealer and foundation. And the applicator is interesting, but I really just apply the concealer sort of on the outer portion of my eye, and then like a little bit right here, and then I'm doing it in all of the other places that I usually apply concealer. I want to say that the applicator holds more product than a typical concealer, but I don't know, I just don't know if I love the shape of it. I do blend the concealer out with my sponge. I don't use my fingers for this. I really just do not like using my fingers to apply any sort of makeup underneath my eyes, especially. I really want a sponge to be able to absorb any excess product, especially with a concealer. So I do like using the sponge. I think the pairing of the concealer and the foundation is super duper nice though. I love how brightening the concealer ends up looking with the foundation, and I can use the concealer on its own as well. I think it just blends out really nicely. I love the finish of it. I love the coverage of it. It looks really, really nice on the skin, and it does last all day for me. So Rare Beauty does not have a bronzer, so I'm just using my Physicians Formula sculpting bronzer. You guys know I love this bronzer so much. Next product I'm going to be going in with is the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Joy. I was a little upset that they didn't come out with a pinky brown nude blush, but the shade Joy was really beautiful, and it forced me a little bit to get out of my comfort zone. And I've got to say, I really, really, really like this blush. I think it's super duper cute. I love how the shade looks on my skin tone, and I feel like this shade would look beautiful on a lot of different skin tones. Probably any skin tone that tries it would look flattering with this blush. And I will be honest, when I initially saw how pigmented these blushes were, I was intimidated and confused why these blushes had to be so pigmented. But then I realized, oh my goodness, there are so many deep skin tones out there that cannot use cream blushes because they are so sheer. Selena Gomez really did that. She really released a super high pigment, blendable, beautiful cream blush that every single person can use. And I am just so thrilled that something like this is on the market. But if you are of fairer skin and this blush was really intimidating to you, or you ended up getting it and it's just way too intense, I have a trick for you. I tried it a few of the days out of the last 2 weeks that I've been using these products, and it's really, really beautiful. So this is the cream blush in Joy on its own, and all you gotta do is take a little bit of your concealer. So those are the two products, and I'm sure you know where I'm going with this. All you gotta do is mix them together. How beautiful. You could do that with literally any of the shades, but this one just creates a really beautiful peachy shade, and I think it automatically would be very flattering on anybody who does this with their own concealer and blush, because the concealer is already suited to your own skin tone, and the concealer will just work with the blush and create such a nice wearable blush option. So if the Rare Beauty blush was just way too intense for some of you, try this concealer trick. I think that you'll really like it. For fun, I'll just go ahead and show you guys what this blush looks like with the concealer mixed. Like, gorgeous, honestly. It just blends in so nice to the skin. I really, really like it. I also think the concealer trick is kind of cool too. Not that it is like adding coverage to your cheeks, but kind of in a way it is. But yeah, it just looks really nice. I think that if this blush, or really any other cream blush you could do this with, if you have any cream blush in your collection that's way too intense, try adding a little bit of concealer to it. I think that you'll like it. This is what Joy looks like without the concealer though, and I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of this regular Joy to my skin, but I wanted to show you guys what it looked like in comparison to the Joy that I mixed in with my concealer. So again, this blush is just ridiculously versatile. I love it. I think it is an amazing addition to the makeup world, and we definitely needed to see a high pigment blush like this on the market. Just taking a little bit of the unmixed Joy and I'm applying it to my cheeks. It's gonna be a lot of blush, but I like a lot of blush, so no problem. And I love this color. I think it's gorgeous. It looks so nice on my complexion. And I just obviously think it will look so beautiful on so many different people depending on how you wear it. So hopefully that concealer and blush trick helped some of you guys out who maybe picked up the blush and it ended up, you know, being a little bit too intense for you, or any of you who were wanting to pick up the blush but avoiding it because it was a little bit too pigmented. I think that you guys would really end up enjoying it. How beautiful. Like, seriously, my skin looks so gorgeous. I am loving all of these products. So I am going to dust my skin very lightly with some translucent powder. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Translucent Loose Powder, and I'm just taking a very fluffy brush to dust my skin with it. I do set my skin because I am, you know, I have returned back to work. I'm not just like lounging around my house wearing some makeup, not caring if it, you know, lasts all day or not. But a little bit of powder definitely does help, and obviously that primer that I used helps a lot too. So yeah, just dusting my skin very lightly. I will say I've used pressed powder with this makeup. I don't know what it was. I don't know, maybe I used too much of the pressed powder, but in conjunction with the concealer and the pressed powder, my under eyes looked disgusting the day that I used pressed powder with this makeup. So never again, sticking with the loose powder, but you just need a little bit of it and it's all good to go. So I am going to do my eyebrows, finish my eyes, and then I will come back to show you guys the 2 lip products that I picked up from Rare Beauty. So I'm back, I have my brows on, and I did the rest of my eyes. I did not pick up their brow product or the eyeliner. I, 1, don't use eyeliner enough to own another, and 2, I have too many brow products already to have another. So I just didn't need either of those products, and yeah, I just didn't want them. But I did pick up 2 of the lip products. I originally just picked up the lip balm. I saw the lip balm on Samantha Ravindal in this exact shade, and although she's much fairer than I am, I just knew I would love this color. So I picked up the Dewy Lip Balm in the shade Thankful. So I'll swatch that for you. It looks like that. It's so gorgeous. I love the color of this. And I also feel like the color deepens up as you wear it. But I do have some not so favorable things to say about the lip balm, but we'll talk about that. And then I originally was not going to pick up one of these. I do not like a matte lip, but I was in the Sephora returning or exchanging the foundation, and one of the employees was talking to me about how this is her favorite lip, and I just had a moment of weakness and I wanted it. So I also picked up the matte lip cream in the shade Fearless. This is the exact matte lip formula that I like, so yeah, I'm happy owning it and it's all good. So That is the Dewy Lip Balm in Thankful, and then that is the Liquid Lip in Fearless. And yeah, just look classic Chessie colors, you know, as what we expect. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the lip balm so you guys can see what the lip balm in Thankful looks like on me. So this is what the lip balm in Thankful looks like. Samantha Ravindal really hit it on the nail when she was explaining how this lip balm tastes like soap, like bubbles she was describing. Yes, unfortunately it does have a gross, like as soon as you put it on, you don't even have to lick your lips. The taste of soap is in your mouth. So it's a little off-putting, and that does go away. However, I never feel like it absorbs into the lips. It always sort of feels like the lip balm is just sitting on top of my lips. I guess I just kind of like my tinted lip balms to maybe be a little bit thicker, and I don't want to say sticky, but I definitely want something that's going to like adhere to my lips, and I just feel like this one never really sticks to my lips. I do, however, really like the matte cream lip that they came out with, and like I said, this is in the shade Fearless. I really like the applicator of it. I love how thin and mousse-like this formula is, so it's so comfortable on the lips. I like that the applicator has like a very flat body, I guess, and then it's very thin, so I can kind of almost line my lips with it. That is what the matte lip cream looks like in the shade Fearless on me. I really like it. I think that this shade is super flattering. I just really like it. I think the color is really flattering. I love how it looks on my lips. It just looks pillowy soft, and I think it's a super nice lip product. I was surprised that I liked the matte lip more than the lip balm, but you know, here we are. So the time right now is 11 a.m., like on the dot. It's 11:01. I am going to spritz my skin with some Urban Decay All Nighter. I skipped out on the Rare Beauty setting spray, but my Urban Decay All Nighter is just the best. So I'm going to spritz my skin with some of my All Nighter. Before I head out, I wanted to give you a close-up of my skin. If you can see my little mustache hairs, please ignore them. But yeah, here is what my skin is looking like. I love how this makeup looks. It just looks phenomenal, so good. It really looks like flawless skin, and I'm so impressed with this line. These products are just so impressive, and I'm really loving them. So yeah, the time right now is 11 a.m. I have a few videos I want to film today, so I'm going to be doing a lot of talking and eating, drinking, but I will be back in a few hours to do a check-in so you guys can see how this makeup is holding up. Hi, so I wanted to do a check-in really quick. I'm out in my front yard. I usually don't do check-ins outside, but there was nowhere in my house that was getting good natural lighting, and the sun is about to go down, and I really wanted to get at least one natural lighting update shot. So the time right now is 7. I've had this makeup on for quite some time. I really got into my work today, so I've just been lesson planning and creating our weekly schedule for this week with the girls. And yeah, I just wanted to come in and show you guys what my makeup is looking like. I did film one video. I didn't film the 2 videos that I was planning, but yeah, let me take a look at my makeup. Honestly, I know this looks good. I am like a little bit oily, but considering how little amount of powder I put on, that's kind of crazy. And my blush is super vibrant. Everything looks good. I feel like all my makeup is still really in place, and I don't look super oily, but I definitely look like nice, glowy, healthy. I do feel like there's a little bit of creasing, you know, just in the normal places where creasing is happening, but it's not anything like that I'm not used to seeing. I always get a little bit of creasing in my smile lines, but honestly, this is not even that bad. Like, yeah, it's just really not that bad considering what time did I put this on? 11 and it's 7 now. What is that, like 8 or 9 hours? I feel like that's a really amazing job for some makeup. I swear Selena Gomez really did that. Like, she really did that. I will check again like right before I go to bed, but this is pretty much what we are working with right now. Hi guys, the time right now is 10:40, so it's almost 11. I've almost had this makeup on for 12 hours, but I feel like the blush is still so nice and vibrant. Although I am quite oily, which, you know, I could have touched up throughout the day, I didn't need to leave my skin this shiny. I don't have any separation going on my forehead or around my nose. I really don't have that much creasing. I mean, there's like a normal amount, but I would even say less than a normal amount of creasing. And I do have, you know, a little bit of creasing under my eyes, but again, it's not anything super crazy. I feel like my makeup has really stayed in place and it's still looking really nice and vibrant. The lips, I mean, at this point I just really don't expect a lip product to last. I am drinking all day, I am eating all day, talking all day. I will say though, the matte lip cream definitely fades very nicely. It doesn't ever get flaky or dry. It really just has a nice gradual even fade, so props to that. But I really love everything that I've picked up from Rare Beauty. Aside from the lip balm, I could take the lip balm or leave the lip balm. I love the color, but I like the matte lip cream a lot better. But yes, I'm up a lot longer than I wanted to be. I am so tired. I've been working all day trying to prepare for the week, but it should be a really good week, so I'm very excited about that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and watching my Rare Beauty review. I hope that it was helpful, and if you have any questions about the line, definitely leave them down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you aren't already subscribed, definitely go ahead and do so, and hopefully I see you next time.